Christians. My friend here, he says he believes that the angels in Jude chapter 1 or in Jude verse 6 are the sons of God that is spoken about in Genesis chapter 6 verses 4 through 6 when it is said that angels were copulating with women, which is ridiculous on its face. But a lot of people believe this nonsense. Now, here's my argument to that. First off, if you look at the angels who kept not their first estate in Jude verse 6, there is absolutely no mention of them being referred to in Jude as sons of God. Simply angels. It does not say they were sons of God. Conversely, in Genesis chapter 6, verses 4 through 6, it says that the sons of God copulated with women. And it does not say anything about angels. There is no reference to angels there whatsoever. So the reality is, I don't care what he thinks. The scriptures makes it very clear what is said and what is not said in both texts, whether it be Jude 6 or Genesis 6, verses 4 through 6. Angels did not have sex with women. That is just ridiculous. There's nothing spoken about. There's nothing that speaks of angels in Genesis chapter 6. Now, here's the other thing. Anybody who knows anything about biblical translation and interpretation, one thing that we know is that the word of God must interpret itself. Moses uses the word angels many times in the book of Genesis. Many times. So he decides to deviate from that. And in Genesis verse 4, he decides to use sons of God to replace angels. That's not consistent. That is not consistent. So what I'm saying is, taking what I'm describing as a whole, there is no possible way that anyone can come up to the conclusion that he's coming up with, that the sons of God in Genesis chapter 6, verses 4 through 6 is speaking about angels when there is no reference to angels whatsoever, when in fact Moses does talk about angels throughout the book, but doesn't refer to them as angels here, because they're not angels here. These are talking about men, which is why later in verse 6 and verse 7, it says that God repented man. God was angry with man, not the angels is in this passage. He was frustrated and angry with men, not angels.